Hello and welcome to your geography class. I'm your teacher Sukhdeep Kaur. Today we are going to start the discussion of chapter number 5, that is entirely about the natural environment, particularly comprising the natural vegetation and wildlife. So in whole and geographical terms, we are going to discuss about the entire biodiversity that comprises flora and fauna. Flora is a geographical term used for vegetation and fauna is the geographical term that is used for wildlife part. So we are going to discuss this entire chapter within these topics. Today's class is all about the biodiversity in India. So in whole, we are going to discuss the introductory part of the biodiversity. It means we are going to learn about the count of the biodiversity and at what rank India stands among the world, among Asia continent in terms of biodiversity. Then we will discuss types of vegetation, medicinal plants, wildlife, and finally we will talk about the conservation of wildlife and animals. So let's begin our today's class. Biodiversity in India. Our country, India, is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. It means altogether there are more than 200 nations according to the current status. That is all we know about. We don't have the exact count. So roughly I would state that there are more than 200 nations all over the world, and out of those 200 nations, we do stand at 12th place. We do rank on the 12th place in the terms of having or comprising mega diversity. It means we do have the vast and rich resources in the terms of biodiversity. Plant species in India, if we talk about the amount or the count of these species, so about 47,000 species are present in India in the terms of plants or vegetation. So India's position in plant diversity, it stands 10th place in the world and it stands at 4th place in Asia. Then we do have the flowering plants and non-flowering plants as well. So within the flowering plants in India, we do have 15,000 species. It means 6% of the world's total number of flowering plants are present in India subcontinent. And among these flowering and non-flowering, we do have the example for non-flowering plants over here. So India has many non-flowering plants, ferns, algae and fungi. So these are the three particular species of animals if we have to talk about. So there are 90,000 species approximately present in India. We are talking about the species of wildlife. So along with or within this species of animals, we do have fresh and marine waters, and we do have a rich variety of fishes particularly. So fresh and marine waters, fresh we are talking about the water that is not salty. So we are not talking about oceanic water or sea water. That comprises this part. Then natural vegetation. This question comes for 1 mark. So particularly you have to give the define for this question. A plant community that has grown naturally without human aid. Aid means help. So a natural vegetation, wherever it is grown, it is growing on its own. Nature is responsible for its growth or for its existence. Human has not contributed in that. It means we have not planted these trees that are naturally occurring. And it has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. And it is also known as virgin vegetation. So virgin vegetation is also the other term used for natural vegetation. We do have cultivated crops within this natural vegetation. Of course, now there comes the human part, human aid part, because agriculture is done by the humans. Fruits, orchids, all these are planted by the humans only. We do have natural vegetation and we do have the vegetation, but we are particularly referring to these examples, so they don't come in natural vegetation. That's why cross is placed over here. They come in vegetation simply. It means, so natural vegetation means they are existing without any human interference, without any human help or aid, and vegetation exists with the human help. And these examples are of the vegetation part. Then endemic and exotic plants. So there are certain types of species and further they are categorized within particularly these two, but there are various others. So what do you mean by endemic or indigenous species? So that means virgin vegetation which are purely Indian. Indigenous, its authentic English meaning is the same itself, that belongs to its native place, that has been originated over a particular area and it is still existing in that particular area. That's why what comes in endemic species or indigenous species of plants, the plants that are existing in India on its own since centuries. But talking about the exotic plants, so these are the plants that exist in India at this moment, but originally they are not from India subcontinent itself. It means they have been derived from somewhere else. They had been taken from someplace else. So vegetation which have come from outside India, the vegetation originally does not belong to India. That is what called for exotic plants. Talking about those geographical terms that I have already introduced you in the beginning of the chapter itself. So flora means a term used to denote plants of a particular region or period, and fauna, it is a term used to denote animals of a particular region or a particular period. So in today's class, as a learning outcome, what we have discussed the concept of biodiversity entirely. So now is the time to recall whatever quick part we have discussed with the help of 3 quick questions as well. Question number 1, which of the following defines natural vegetation? So vegetation that is artificially grown, we are talking about natural. No, although artificially none kind of vegetations are grown, because we are talking about the vegetation that is grown by the humans, to be referred as vegetation only in the simplest term, not to be considered for artificial vegetation. Artificial means that is not non-living. Vegetation that has grown naturally without human aid, this can be considered, actually this is to be the answer, but still let's read other two. Vegetation that is found in only forests, no. And vegetation that is cultivated in fields, it can be, but it is the define of vegetation only, not of the natural vegetation. Which of the following correctly describes an exotic plant? A plant species that originated in India? No, that is indigenous plants. So put across. A plant species that has been introduced in India from another country? Yes. But let's read further too. A plant that grows only in tropical region, a plant that is always used for commercial purposes. None of them are correct, because exotic plants simply means they are not from Indian origin. They have come from outside of India. Question number 3, which of the following statements about biodiversity in India is true? We are not talking about not true term because there is no such word. So please pay attention to this thing. India has a poor variety of animal species? No. India has no non-flowering plants? Not at all. India does have non-flowering plants. India has a rich variety of fish in its fresh and marine waters? Yes, it does. India has the lowest plant diversity? No. India is rich in plant diversity. So that was all about our first and introductory class related to the term biodiversity. So soon we will meet again with the discussion of types of vegetation. Over there we are going to discuss varied type of vegetation found in a particular period and in a particular region. Although more than a period, region will be the more suitable thing. So see you soon in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.